Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Huge Update. It is episode 20. I'm Alistair Ross McInnes and I am joined with my lovely host, Peter Morris.
Hi guys.
Say hello. And today we're going to be interviewing the two creators of Studio Fischmell who are currently working on their project Mongrel. Please say hello, you guys.
Hello.
We got Håkan and we got Raoul. Yep,
Fantastic.
say it correctly for me, please. So yeah, Pete.
and with that, basically, here we go. So, the first question we want to know is how was Fischmell formed, and what did you both do before kind of forming this team?
Well, we both we grew up together basically in a small village with 2,000 inhabitants in Norway.
Nice.
So we kind of just kept in touch and went separate ways to study in different schools. But that's kind of when we started working together, when we lived in different areas. We started working on just some silly small projects, and that eventually grew into this. It started with a small game that Håkon started with called Man Boy.
Yeah,
Nice.
basically, it's a game I used to torture my friends. It's very bad and it's also very hard.
So, like kind of Super Meat Boy-esque difficulty.
Yeah, it's heavily inspired by I Wanna Be the Guy.
Ah, yeah.
So, it's torture, but yeah.
Causing pain to all your friends.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what we live for.
Yeah, exactly. And one of you is a programmer, right? And one of you is the artist. So is that the kind of the way the dynamic works? Then one guy does all the kind of code, and the other guy makes it look beautiful.
Yeah, I do the code because I have to. Actually, when we started, it was the other way around, and I was going to do the art, but
So what caused
I
the
don't
change?
know
then?
why, but now I'm the programmer. I don't know what kind of tricks he did, but I have to do it.
Yeah, I'm clever that way.
Worked the mind games on you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And how would you describe Mongrel in a nutshell, in a couple of sentences?
Ooh, it's goofy. No, it's we aim to make it beautiful, but still funny and silly.
And what's kind of the narrative of the game?
Well, Håkon, you can take that one.
The narrative,
Mm.
well, you we're it's very hard to explain because the story and everything, we haven't really published anything on the story, but
That's fair. If
Right.
you don't want to talk about it too much, I can understand that.
yeah, sure, but if I can compare it to like the Big Lebowski, where you have this guy who's the main character, doesn't really want to save the world. He just wants his rug back.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how the game works and the story and the narrative.
Yeah.
So it's
The basic-
weird that way.
You kind of
Gives us a chance to sort of make fun of the cliches and everything that's in these games, where it's usually just to collect the artifacts and save the world and blah blah blah.
Kind of having a bit of a cool sort of twisted undertone then.
Yeah, we're trying to do something different, so hopefully it will be good.
yeah,
And
kind of
so- go for it, Al.
yeah, kind of got that feeling like for seeing some of the your gifs of Finch, and like just the amount of times he just loves to roll his eyes. I just like he'll do something goofy or he'll just see something weird. And he's just like, whatever, I don't want to be here.
He basically doesn't care about anyone. Just about himself.
Or like the amount of times he chuckles at just like really awkward moments. It's just like he's just set something on fire and you see these big grin on his face. It's just like, this guy's liking bad stuff. This is all right. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, but what we're trying to do is we're making him sort of a psychopath, but we're also making it very fun for the player to fail when you're playing as Finch. When you mess up and do something stupid, the way he reacts, it's kind of rewarding, even though you as a player you're losing. But,
That's cool, actually. I really like the idea of like not penalising the player for kind of messing up. More or less, they get a sense of enjoyment after, for messing up. Did you look at like Conker's Bad Fur Day by any chance for like kind of protagonist ideas? Because he's also quite a sarcastic, unwilling hero.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games.
It's a big inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask actually. Yeah, what was kind of the inspiration? So you mentioned The Big Lebowski, Conker's Bad Fur Day. What else sort of thing helped mold Mongrel into what it is now?
It does have some Metroidvania elements, so of course Super Metroid, but and also Zelda games. So those two are heavy inspirations on the sort of the real gameplay.
Nice,
but we have all these extra weird elements which you usually don't see in these types of games.
When you mentioned weird, I definitely can tell. There's a GIF, of course, where the main character, he's using his tongue to kind of shimmy up a rope to shoot something.
It's a trickster.
Yeah, exactly. What was the idea behind using a frog as the main protagonist?
Well, we kind of like the skill set a frog could have, and still, it's a good like characteristics for a main character, I think, to make him kind of different and strange, but fun to play.
Yeah, but it sort of started like I just one day made him a frog.
What was he before?
He was just a normal kid. But in secret, I made him a frog, and I don't know why.
I had to go along with it.
You had no choice in the matter.
It's a frog now. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so now, because you changed, of course, the main protagonist, the main guy, did that also influence the rest of the world? You know, did you have to kind of change the environment and the enemies to fit the main character's design?
We kind of built the world around the characters and the characteristics. He has all of his skill sets. We first made the character basically, and then we had the world, like the stories and everything, but we shaped the world, you can say, from his skills.
From the way he looks. And so, of course, it's a platformer, but with a few extra differences, of course. What kind of platforming elements have you sort of taken or used as inspiration from other games, and how does your platforming game differ from them?
Welcome.
Let me think.
That's okay. Yeah. Take all the time you need. I'm just enjoying all the little gifs on the page.
Like the platforming elements that we've been inspired by. I really don't know. Actually, I have no idea.
So did you guys play a lot of platformers prior making this, or was this kind of like you hadn't played lots, so you wanted to kind of create your own take on a platformer?
Well, when I think a little more about it, I think we both played Cave Story.
Cave Story, yes.
Pretty great, but that's sort of like elements of the best older games too. But it's a great inspiration. But it's not that heavy on the platforming. We're trying to make it more about the action.
So is it more like kind of shooter orientated then, or more action orientated over the platforming elements?
Yeah, it's more action.
I've noticed the art style has changed quite dramatically, at least from the concept art to the kind of the main game art style. Was there any kind of main reason that you decided to go for quite a different art direction for the in-game artwork compared to the concept work?
To say straight out, I just got better at drawing, I guess. It started out with kind of, if you've seen the earliest in-game footages, it's quite a big difference. You kind of had huge levels of improvement, So gradually, when we made the game and made the assets and everything, I got better and better at making it. So eventually, when I reached another level, I had to remake everything. And this happened 3 times, I think, 3 or 4 times. So I had to like just redraw
Remake the entire game.
So the biggest one was last year, I think, straight after the Kickstarter. Then went to even the next level and scrapped almost everything and started over again with a new art style, which we still go with, and we will not make it even more advanced. But we like the art as it is now, and we use a lot of concepts from our good concept artist Doman, who is very good with colors and characters and all of it. We throw ideas at him and tell him how we want it, and he puts it together kind of. And I use this as inspiration as well.
That's cool. So you've got someone else to kind of help out with some of the color balancing issues. Then, and so you mentioned that you've used Kickstarter in the past. What was your honest opinion about Kickstarter then?
Well, the last time we tried Kickstarter, we didn't know 100% what we went on with. We kind of rushed it a bit. So after we launched it, we figured out we should definitely have taken a longer time to build this. So in the end, we kind of wanted it to fail in the end, because we wanted to rather wait and do it over again. So we learned a lot while doing the first Kickstarter, with how the importance of PR and marketing and to be active in the societies and everything. We learned a lot from that progress. So that's what we've been doing the last year, basically, a lot more of.
Of course, because you're tackling Kickstarter again, aren't you? Correct? If that's right, like soon.
Yeah, very soon.
So what were you doing? What are you going to do differently then?
We've been a lot more active on the PR side and marketing, or just to give more of ourselves, give more of the project to our followers, and show people what we are doing, and just try to build up followers, basically. So, and taking feedback from the communities and let them help us build the game, basically, in some way.
Totally. I mean, what's the best way you think of approaching that? Because, like I said, we'd love to know what you think is the best way to kind of get in touch with your audience.
You have to narrow down to which communities that will like your game, because every game has its own small communities around on the internet, you could say, and you have to find these and really talk with them and show them art and show them gameplay and make them give you feedback, and use that.
I think a big key to this is to try to be supportive of others too, and not sort of try to, hey, look at me all the time. You have to give others feedback too. Try to just get involved.
Exactly. Just be a part of the community.
Yeah, speaking of community, have they helped influence any of the game's mechanics, art style, or level design?
Yeah, a lot. Because not just the PR stuff. For the old Kickstarter, we kind of realized our game was very bad too, or me from the game design perspective. It's kind of weird when you're working on something like this and it becomes special to you because you're making it for the first time, but like you have to add something that makes it special for other people too. And the old game, it didn't have a main character that was as responsive. He didn't have any expressions or cool abilities. He was just running and jumping, and people have seen that a million times before. So we kind of realized we had to do something about that, because we got a lot of feedback through that old Kickstarter. So
yeah, definitely. I've noticed that a lot of the new artwork you've done in animation show that personality in the main character, as Alistair mentioned, like with the eyes moving, the tongue sort of coming out and flicking around.
Yeah.
I guess as you mentioned, like the Big Lebowski, trying to get a sense of who he is as a character and kind of show off the unwilling hero that he is.
Yeah, it's like our goal was to, after we failed our Kickstarter last time, we wanted the game to be fun, even if you were just the main character, just running around in a boring room. It had to be fun, just doing that. Sort of like games that inspired us in that way was Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, those games. Just the amount of abilities and just stuff you can do with those main characters. It was insane comparing it to our boring running and jumping. So we just worked a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I guess that's the best thing about it. Is you've learned from that experience and created a much more polished experience, like gaming experience out of it. Does the main character, does he kind of encounter like other NPCs, or does he interact much with the actual world itself, or?
Well, yeah, we have made a lot of NPCs. We have them planned, and some of them drawn out, but not all of them still. But in Mongrel, we have insanely vast story in a huge world with I don't know, I think we have passed at least 100 characters, NPCs, which all of them has its own story as well. This is kind of a universe that we have created the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the universe that we play around in. So we have so many characters sorted out, and we are going to make tons of them, and hopefully, if we are able, we want to voice all of them, to give them their own voice with voice actors. Hopefully, we won't have to do it all ourselves. So,
Please.
So yeah, now we want to implement a lot of funny characters, and we want the player to be that you can more like research the world if you want. You can explore and talk to people if you want to. You don't have to, but if you do, you might hear funny things, you might find secrets, you might just hear a stupid story, or just have a lot of different characters, basically.
That's awesome. I love the idea of lore for exploration.
But just thinking about it, it would be kind of funny to have a game with 100 characters, all voiced by heavy Norwegian accents.
Yeah. I am a troll.
Would there be moments where they kind of go, "Hey, you sound just like me"? Surprising that, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I'll write it down.
So I can't actually ask this yet, but the main character, is he actually called Mongrel? Is the game called Mongrel, and he has a different name?
The character is called Finch, and he is a mongrel, you could say.
Yes.
It's a mix between a frog and a human.
Nice. You ever find out about his origin story then, if that's the case, or?
It's yeah, maybe you'll find out if you're a good player. But,
gonna say it's gonna be trippy either way. Like thinking about like the logistics of it.
Yeah, you'll have to do some searching in the game to find out.
Nah, just make it up in fan fiction.
But be as erotic as you want to be.
Knock yourself out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm more intrigued by the Yeti platypus that you got as one of the characters. Like he's just ridiculous, and I love him. He looks so much fun.
It's one of
the like mash up different species
to
create these weird characters.
Yeah, because you got another one. One of the boss designs you got. It's a giant tree, but also a lizard, but also has like honey like just dripping everywhere off of him. Whoa!
Sorry about that. My buzzer went for no reason. Someone's actually at the door. Apologise.
But yeah, I just love the creativity that's in this boss. Like I think he's like really cool, and it's just something I haven't seen that often. Is like this mashup between like nature, animals, and honey. So
We're best to make kind of different characters than what you usually encounter.
Please tell me you have a small bear called Pooh that kind of, hangs around this lizard.
One more time. The yellow poo.
Yeah. Oh no, Winnie the Pooh, the classic character. You heard of him?
Ole Brumm in Norwegian.
Yeah.
oh,
I could just picture him like kind of licking his lips every time he sees the lizard.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so far in development, what has been the hardest obstacle to overcome?
Getting
Working
good at programming. It's hard.
Getting good at being an artist. No, it's been a lot of different obstacles. But the biggest one was when we found out that we have to throw away everything and start over again, basically. It was kind of good, but we just saw the huge amount of work that was ahead of us, but we just went into it because we want to finish this.
Yes, exactly.
We want to make this an amazing game. It's gonna be enormous, and it's a lot of work, but we are very dedicated to finishing it because we want this game to really happen. So we're aware of the workload, but yeah.
Definitely. And how long has it been in development so far then?
Oh,
Wow.
how long is it now, Håkon? Since we started, because this game has been a learning process. So the
definitely.
game has kind of changed a lot
It's gone
through the
through
years. So
like 4 iterations or something, if you count like from the beginning. But it depends if we count the time we spent before we kind of got serious about it.
Yeah.
And we got serious like maybe 2 years ago.
It kind of reminds me. Your story sort of reminds me of Phil Fisher's story with Fez. Where he got better, like you guys have, and had to scrap everything and remake the game again and again and again. And that's obviously what you're doing. And you finally got, as you said, the art style you're happy with now, and it's going ahead. What's kind of the next step for the project then? So you've got Kickstarter coming up. Are you going to be showcasing at any particular events, or are you going to be doing like an open beta for people to play the game?
Yeah, we would love to have at least a demo or something, but we don't yet. Don't have one yet. But we just need more time to work on the game. Right now, we don't have any funding at all, so
we feel that we don't have the time to go to a lot of traveling and go to a lot of events and all of this right now, because we have to use all of our spare time on the project itself.
Yes.
To keep it growing. So that's kind of what we're going to continue to do, just continue building on the project, and hopefully after the Kickstarter involve some more great artists to work with us and help us make this project happen. So
definitely.
It depends. It kind of depends how the Kickstarter goes, what we will focus on after, but definitely we will focus on the game itself, not spend a lot of time traveling on and showcasing the game yet. But a demo we want to make happen maybe this year. We're not completely sure yet, but
I guess you said see how Kickstarter goes. In sort of regards, I guess to the development. Actually, my brain is just flipped. You know when you have a question in your head, and then it goes. I have one of those moments.
yeah.
I really like the way it's kind of the game has changed and the kind of your experience. You've got better and better and better. Would you bring on? You mentioned like a future artist. So it's the two of you primarily. Then would you increase the team if you're successful with Kickstarter?
Well, our challenge is it's not just to increase the team. You have to find the right people.
Yes, of course.
We've been very lucky in the past we have got involved some very great artists, very good creative people. But when it comes to the art style and everything, it's hard to find people that can make the same actually, because
it's
it's
just
kind of
because it
different.
draws very weird.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're too weird. Man.
I'm too weird for the rest. So yeah.
And you mentioned, of course, that you're not funded at all. How are you kind of guys making the game then? Do you have like full-time jobs, and this is kind of like a pet project in the free time you have, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We work on the game as much as we can, and so basically most of our spare time goes to this.
Of course.
As for me, I'm working full time, and Håkon is now working less, so he's having more time with the game itself.
It's like, yes, I've escaped. I have more time.
One of us has escaped, and hopefully I can do it too in the future.
Would you guys be looking for like a publisher then in future as well, or would you be self-publishing?
We're not actually looking for a publisher, but I don't know. Maybe it's just I have this really shady impressions of these indie developer publishers. So
yeah, we'll definitely have to look into it, but we haven't so far.
Definitely. Well, I totally, guys, I wish the best for this future Kickstarter project. Is there a date when you're going to be releasing it to the world so we can all vote?
The Kickstarter, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. When's the Kickstarter date coming up?
Well, it's we are getting the trailer finished pretty soon.
Fantastic.
So as soon as this is finished, we will start thinking about the launch. So I think we can expect it within the month.
Nice. And then I guess we'll
give the date quite soon.
And what else are you looking forward to in 2016? That isn't, of course, your game, but like other people's projects or any kind of Twitter, members of Twitter or Facebook or YouTube videos that you think are worth people taking an interest in?
My number one this year is definitely Owlboy. I've been waiting for that one since 2010. Wow. So
it's been so long.
Yeah.
But they actually confirmed it's supposed to be released this year. So
we gotta support our Norwegian brothers.
Hey, he can take all the time he wants. That game just keeps looking better and better each time he keeps showing it off.
The art is amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and the animation that's involved in it. Oh, yeah. I've been waiting for it because I was a big fan of their first game. I really loved it, and ever since I've heard about Owlboy, I've been all over it. Can't wait for it.
I'd never heard of it before. I'm looking at screenshots now of it, actually. What's the overall premise of Owlboy?
It's sort of a Zelda-type game, I think.
Yeah, like for what he's showing off, it's got like platforming elements. It's got a bit of like exploration, Zelda type stuff that's involved in it.
Platformer puzzle, yeah.
Yeah, like there's not much.
We don't know much.
Yeah, not much out of it, but like all he's just showing is like the animations, the GIFs, like the pixel art itself. So that's all that they've been selling right now. And obviously, when they get closer to launch, I imagine a full-length trailer with some more details will come out of it.
It looks very promising.
Yes.
And we actually have the same composer as Owlboy.
Oh wow! So
for us to try to. So Owlboy was the reason we wanted to get that composer, because we've listened to some of the music he's made for that game, and it's crazy good, I think.
That's really cool, actually, that he kind of has a link between your two projects, apart from, of course, the fact you're Norwegian projects. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming on today. It's been a real pleasure. I wish you the best of luck with Kickstarter coming up soon. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
So I would like to kind of end the podcast.
Yeah, I just thank you so much for coming along. Thank you so much for being up for this interview. I know it came out of the blue, like the way that we got talking and all that, but like thank you so much for coming along. It's been an interesting story to hear. I really
Pretty
love.
interesting.
I really love the fact that you're making like the Big Lebowski of video games in a weird roundabout way. I think that has to be your tagline for the game. Just like, yeah, it's like the Big Lebowski of video games.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And you play as a frog. There you go.
By the way, you're a human frog.
Yeah, you're a hybrid frog. It's in the title. It's mongrel. Come on,
Exactly.
come on, guys.
I want to know his parents now, though. I want to see the mum and dad. You know, how they made it work.
Well, maybe. Maybe there will be a sort of a flashback or something. We'll see.
But thank you so much, guys, for coming along. It's been great talking to you. It's been hopefully everybody's enjoyed this interview just as much as me and Pete has. And as always, we'll leave on the awkward outro of us saying goodbye together. So everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.